got off to another dastardly start, down 30, 18 the first quarter, that was 30 to 16. We went small. They went small with us, and we were able to make a huge headway, got it all the way back. Second and third quarter, we were even ahead in the third quarter, and we didn't close the quarter very well. We took a couple of untimely, tough shots, and they came down and made threes, and we turned the ball over a couple of times during that stretch as well. And they got some energy. We had a lot of people making shots. You look at, they're 14 for 33 from threes. 51%. I think they shot almost 60% if you take away those three shots that they had. So the only positive in the game was the fact that we made the huge run and got back to three and then took the lead in the third quarter.
You talk about them shooting and defensively. Is there different things you felt like your guys could have done, or is it just a situation where this is obviously a very
as a coach, you always feel like you can do more. I feel like I can do more as a coach, and I feel like the team can do more. We just didn't.
How much does it speak to Curry that for large parts of the game, with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, he hadn't done an awful lot, and then he can explode that quickly in 3 minutes and kind of change the complexion?
That's what great players can do. I mean, plus he's got a great team. He didn't have to go out there and do it all the time. Last night he had 44. The night before, or 2 nights ago, when they were in Charlotte, he had 43. I mean, when he needs to, he can. And when he doesn't need to, he takes a back seat to those other guys. They got Klay Thompson off early, and some other guys were rolling, and then when he needed to, he stepped up and put the dagger in us. He's a great player.
Anyone else?
Before the game, you were asked obviously about the way you had played against this team going back several games. Do you think it's possible that you guys had their attention more than you did earlier this season? I mean, they talked about how they were aware of how you guys had played against them. Do you think perhaps?
No, I think they're a great team that plays to their level. And that's what they came out and did in the first quarter. They didn't worry about us. They played their game. And we battled and scratched and clawed, and they just stayed with their game until they overwhelmed us later on. I mean, I don't think when you're good, you're not worried about who you're playing. You're just going out there and doing your thing, and the other team has to match you.
Okay, thank you.
Brook in a different situation than the other night, but another tough start in the first quarter. What do you point to for those reasons?
They came out shooting the ball well, but we didn't really get a lot of shots up in the first moments of the first quarter. But we definitely fought back. Our second group that came in, second quarter, they gave us a lot of energy, and they were out there fighting. And then we definitely made it again for a bit. We just got away.
You guys did take the lead then in that third quarter, and so Curry kind of came out strong towards that end, and the bench took care of things in that early part of the fourth quarter. But what can you still draw from games like these, despite the fact that you're not going to win games?
I think we're up for it. We just got to finish. It's a lot of the same stuff. Another game. We have a better start, a better finish, You don't want to keep dancing around those hypotheticals.
Is it hard to keep gauging just kind of where you guys are at, given the fact that in times you're up against such tough opponents that have been playing so well lately?
Yeah, you do see glimpses. It's just, we got to keep going and make it make those glimpses, turn them into consistencies in our identity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Make a run there in that third quarter. But what would you see that they were able to do to overtake things?
We were able to string stops together. But at times we got a bit confused on our matchup and transition, which translated in easy buckets for them. And they was able to get the lead back.
How do you characterize this one, given the way that they've been playing and just how good they have been as of late?
I mean, you know, they're a tough team. You know, it's faced pretty much every situation possible. You know, we fought back after a deficit coming out the half, and you know, tried to extend the lead in the third quarter. Man, they withstood it. And you gotta give them credit, man. They're a resilient, tremendous team.
How tough is Curry? You know, late in the fourth and third, he just scores.
I mean, it's tough. It's more so what's surrounded around him, more so than him just straight on being dominant. You know, they have some willing guys that do a great job of screening and getting them open. And if there's any separation or if there's any miscommunication in those plays, you know, he's shown he's a very, very knockdown shooter. So that's the part of it that can be, you know, more so frustrating than just a one-on-one situation.
3-point shooting for you guys has been just tough all year. I mean, how can you overcome that? How do you overcome that on a daily basis?
Man, we gotta just attack, man. Get better looks from it. You know, on the most part, you know, we struggle so much getting penetration that, you know, we don't suck the defense in and, you know, allow to give ourselves those, you know, kick out opportunities for threes.
Steph, how much of a conscious decision was it to take the game over offensively late in that third quarter and become more aggressive with the shot at that point?
It was pretty purposeful, just trying to see if I could get some room and figure out a way to impact the game. And things started to click. And we were down, 3 at the time or something like that. And so just needed a little life. And we like to close quarters out strong. And obviously we were able to do that, get a nice lead, and then not look back from there.
Steph, is there such a thing as a bad shot for Stephen Curry?
Is there such? Oh, yeah. There's circumstance like time and score, and when you need to shoot or not. But if I shoot it in the moment, I think it's a good shot, and I have confidence, and I expect to make it. So that's the approach I have every time I shoot. And I'll live with the results, whether I miss and coach shakes his head, or I make it and everybody, you know, claps for me. Then it doesn't really matter. In that moment, I feel like that's the right decision to shoot it and have confidence, and you know, just live with it.
When you have people like Steve Nash who say that you're revolutionary, how does that? Do you even think of things like that, like how you're changing the game and how people are modeling themselves after you?
It's hard to think about in the moment because I'm still, you know, trying to get better and trying to improve and find different ways to help us win. When a guy like that says something, that guy I used to look up to when I was coming out of high school, and who I thought I have a lot of similarities with the way that I played and wanted to play, that means a lot for sure.
But creativity is important for you. That's something that you pay attention to and you bring some importance to that. Being creative.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I have to have a great imagination on the floor. You know, whether it's my shot or trying to get other guys involved or with my ball handling. I'm not the fastest guy to be able to just blow by somebody. I have to be deceptive and find different ways to make it happen and create space and do things like that. So creativity and imagination and seeing a play before it happens is kind of something I rely on.
Where does that come from? Is it because you couldn't really model yourself after really anybody? Your body type is a little bit different from what we see today? Is that necessity?
That was a part of my game since I can remember. In high school, you know, I used to just try stuff, experiment and test the limits. And even now, I'm kind of off-season workouts and things that I do to prepare for the season. You just try stuff and you get out on the practice floor and kind of just imagine what a situation might be like and how you're gonna handle it. So stuff that I do on the floor in games is not the first time I've tried it. And the muscle memory and kind of the comfort level comes back up.
You guys are in a close game like tonight where you're up, you know, down 3 in the third quarter, all of a sudden, obviously, you're up double digits. And are you guys just used to doing that by now, or do you ever surprise yourself how quickly you turn things?
You know, we feel like we always have that big punch, but And over 82 games, you're gonna have to show that in order to have a good record. And so you can't just. You're not gonna come in and blow everybody out. You're not gonna. Some nights you might not shoot the ball well for 24, 36 minutes, what have you. But if you just stick with the process of how we play and how we're gonna get our shots, and not deviate from that, eventually we hope it'll click. And that's what happened tonight. We kept our composure. Things weren't going our way in the second and third quarter, but defensively, we kept our energy, I think. We started to get stops and turn it into offense for us, and change the momentum of the game like we had in the first quarter.
When you missed your third straight free throw to start the game, you're kind of shaking your head. What's going through your mind? What are you saying to yourself?
There's something I'm not doing right that I had to just figure it out. Right now, I don't even know what that was, but there was something mechanically that just wasn't clicking right. Might have got in my head. I was kind of trying to laugh it off because all of them felt pretty good, but it happens, and hopefully it won't happen again.
Steph, you're a lifelong student of the game. To be in this 22-0, I mean, have you had any ability to sort of separate from it a little bit and take stock of what it means in the larger sense in basketball history?
Man, it's really hard to do that in the moment. Obviously, you understand when you break a record or do something that's never been done in the history of the game, there's something special about it. But it's really hard to kind of just separate yourself from it entirely because there's a new challenge right on the heels of recent accomplishments. So there's been games where we sat on the bench, it's like me and Draymond or whoever talking to coach during the end of the fourth quarter or something when we're not playing, and we just like, hey, we 20 something to know. Like it doesn't sound right. I don't think I've been 22-0 in my life, so we would have thought it would be my 7th year in the NBA. So it's pretty special, and I think we'll appreciate it later. But right now we're in the moment, and right now obviously there's more to play for and more to look forward to down the stretch of the season. No trophies for undefeated records until July.
What's it been like this week to go down to North Carolina, see people like Bob McKillop, and then people that helped you get here, and now the crowds that you draw in New York and whatnot, kind of a full span of where you came to where it's all going now?
Yeah, it's been a great week. Being able to spend that time at home, my dad was being honored. Dale Curry night in Charlotte. Got to see a lot of family. Got to spend an off day there. And like you say, my roots, and where I learned the game, where I developed my game. So that was a special time. And then on top of this run we're having, and I went back to Toronto where I used to live. My dad was playing up there for 3 years and things like that. So it's been a very emotional whirlwind of just reminiscing and enjoying family accomplishments and stuff like that. And you come here and the arena that we had, or the atmosphere that was out there with a lot of Dub Nation, it was fun. So just trying to stay focused, rejuvenated each day that you can get back into it and get ready for the next game.
Last question. Belief, faith is a crucial element of success. At what point did you start to believe that this was possible? What was success, team-wise and personally?
For a while now. I mean, we've been preparing for this for the core that we've had for the last 4 years. And when Coach Jackson was here, things started to change, and we started to show a little promise. And we learned some lessons in failure that invaluable for us, and then we all come back better players this year, and individually and as a team. So the confidence and the belief was at an all-time high. In training camp, obviously, after a championship run, it should be, but it wasn't a false confidence because guys had come in and really worked over the summer and really put themselves in a position to try to do it again, and that was the focus for us. So it's always been there. It's just nice to see the results happen, and we want to keep it going.
Steph,
Great, thank you. Appreciate that.